With ancoreScript, we provide you full access to all the Qlik APIs that Qlik has to offer using JavaScript, and we add a user interface too. Let me show you a sample. Jump in, and I'm going to remove all the sample code here. And we start with a simple one. And you see we have a lot of context here. The first context object is the Qlik object, the app object, a link to the capability API, and our ancoreScript. So we can go with the ancoreScript caption and change it from the value it has to click me. And as soon as I'm going to execute my button, here we see click me. And you see we have two different ways to execute. While I'm in edit mode, you can execute here, and when you're done, you have to trigger it by the button. Yeah, and we have changed the name. Wonderful. Okay, let's go back to the script. Remove that. And we have another one. It's called the evaluate. That is a cool one. I'm going to show you a simple sample here. Evaluate equals 2x4, and the result comes back in a callback function, and put that information in my console. But the console, I don't have a console. So we need to activate our debugger. And we can put the debugger here, so the code will automatically stop here. And to make sure we see the console, we open the console by F12, and I'm going to execute, and there we go. The code is, we can step debug the code, and we see the result is 8, 2x4, and it is written in the console. Very good. It's a very simple and convenient way to debug your code live. But let's change this formula 2x4 to a Qlik expression, like sum of the actual amount. So sum actual amount, and put the information to my console. And there we go. The result is, yeah, a large number, and it automatically writes it to my console. Very easy and very simple. So you don't need the debugger all the time. That is only for convenient developing purpose. Okay, remove that again. Okay. Let's switch to something with more functionality. We need some kind of a user interface so you can interact with the user. And for that, we provide you an application that is called WebEx. And WebEx is a user interface that is written just with JSON objects. Very simple to use. In that case, we create a user interface, a view. That view is a window, and it has a close button. And I'm going to show that window. Let's see what happens. When I click on execute, we see we have a simple window here with an X to close the button. Cool. Let's add more information to it. We could change maybe the position to the top of the screen. So when I'm going to execute, it will automatically appear here. And we can add a different size, the width and the height, and we can give it the possibility to move it around. I've prepared some for you. Copy and paste here, and you see the window is now as a head. Can move it, position is centered. We have our close button. The width is 700 by 600. We have a body, and inside the body we have a div element. Okay, let's see what's happened when we execute that one. Okay, we have a nice little window which we can drag around. Even if we're going to switch between Qlik Sense worksheets or the edit mode, it will stay here. Okay, let me close. Sorry, Let me close that window, and we're going to add something which is a great functionality of Qlik, the possibility to create visualization on the fly, just using the app visualization API. And this is the next step. After we have created our window and we have shown it on the screen, we use the app visualization, create a pie chart, consists of the sales rep name and the sum of the actual amount. And when it is done, please step here and show the visual in the chart container, which is our div we have rendered, provided inside our window. So Qlik will render automatically the new created chart into this div here. That means we have a Qlik visualization created on the fly directly in the window, and this is definitely, I'm going to close the debugger, is using also all the functionality like selections, tooltips, and so on. Let me add another one. Going to clear that. And what we're going to do is we create a table on the fly by using the app create table function. Also we use sales rep name and the sum of actual amount. And we add a new function here, a listener function. And inside this listener function, we are going to use to export the table, and we unbind. So for unbind, we need a bind before. Okay. And that is the last action here. So creating the function, create a table on the fly, bind the table to the listener function here. And as soon as it is done, it will export the data and download it. And you ask yourself, and what does it do? Okay, look at this. After we have done some selections and we activate it, it creates a new Excel table, and ta-da! Yeah, it has only one field because we have done a selection. Let me reduce the selection. And we have our Excel full of our sales rep with their sum of actual amount. Let me show you a more sophisticated application. So we have seen that it is simple to add a window, configure the window. But what if we want to use more application parts of Qlik? We have provided you a simple sample application. We call it Select by Measure. And what it does is it creates a window, only if not exist. And this window covers all the dimension, all the measures, a slider, and the possibility to create a pie chart, bar chart, or a line chart on the fly, and do some selections and unselection functionalities too. Let's see how it works. It's better we switch to done editing so we see the selection functionality, so we can select any dimension. Let me go for sales rep, and we use the actual amount, and you see it automatically shows me the range between 16 and 12 billion. And the reason is because we have done here a aggregated sum function for the sales rep dimension by the actual amount, and we are able now to shift our slider here. But if we don't want to shift it by one, we can switch by millions, so it's easier. It steps by millions, and you see it shows only 3 distinct records will be in my selection when I'm going by 5 million of actual amount by sales rep name. And I'm going to click on select range. It automatically selects these 3 sales reps. Clear all. Change it from sales rep to maybe state. We have 45 distinct states going by million. And when I'm switch to minimum 2 millions, and you see we have only 7 distinct. I'm going to select that range, and it will automatically select that correct states. It is not necessary that you go with pie chart, but you can also switch to bar chart, line chart, table chart. And all you see is just a couple of script lines you have seen here in my sample. ancoreScript is part of ancoreShare. So go to ancoreSoft.com, get your free version, and download ancoreShare today.